What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Poolside Chat. My name is Todd, and I've got yet another amateur pool match to review with you. We're continuing with APA TriCups, and I actually have a confession to make. You'll notice here that it actually says APA 9 ball. This is actually going to be 8 ball. Unfortunately, I created all the TriCup matches thumbnails all at once. Forgot to make that one change in doing this one. Already had the video edited. So you know what? Instead of going back and fixing it, whatever. I'll have the right thumbnail on the actual thumbnail for YouTube and social media and whatnot. But you know what? I'm human. I make mistakes. So I'm just gonna roll with it. So anywho, let's get right into the match. This is gonna be the first match for this TriCups. And I am playing Shawn. He's also a 7. And you'll notice I usually try to only put the first name, not try to put people out there necessarily if they don't want to be. But I had to put his last initial because the next match, coincidentally, was also against a Shawn. Therefore, got to at least show a little bit of difference so you know what's going on and who I'm actually playing, right? So, as you can see, terrible lag. I don't know why. My speed is not on any of these. If you watch my 9 ball matches, I didn't have one good lag really. I was just trying to get to the head string, apparently, is all I was trying to do. So, Shawn's got it. Let's dive right in. Let's see how this goes. Here we go. So, yeah, very first match. This is 9 a.m. I'm not a fan of playing in the morning. For whatever rule, pool is more of an evening. Ooh, look at it. I almost made that A ball, but he scratched, so that would have been a quick loss. But yeah, I don't like playing pool this early in the morning. It's just, I don't know why, it just doesn't sit well with me. But at the same point, when the other team puts their 7 up first out of the gate, you know, I can't make one of my other teammates play them, and I'm definitely not going to throw off. So, got to bite the bullet and got to dive right in. So, let's see what happens, see what I can do. And it's not a great match here, so let's see if I can fight off the sleeps and try to put on a decent show for you. So I chose to take solids here. Unfortunately, I was trying to break open that 1-6 and ended up kind of making it a little bit worse. So just gotta figure out my way, figure out the right pattern. So I'm gonna go ahead and shoot this, and unfortunately make my entire team sweat bullets. Let's be honest, rightfully so. I don't know why I hit it that way. I should have put a little spin on it, something. But I'm playing with fire. Let's go. Let's get after it. But I at least have the back cut on the 5. I was hoping to actually open up that 7 ball. Didn't quite get there. So I've got the cut on the 2. It's pretty simple. Just let it go side to side. I'm double checking, see if that 7 even clears by the 12. I think it does. So I just got to hit this right. But I'm going to take the 2 into the top left corner. Get the cue ball back to the other side. Slow down. And now I've got the option. Both the 1 and the 6 should go. But you see, I'm looking at what kind of angle, if this is even possible, of how I can get that, like slice that 7 ball into the side. So I'll start with the 6, just a little bit of draw, so that way I leave myself an angle, which is ideal. You never want to leave yourself dead straight. You don't have as much option. Always want an angle. But instead, now I got to use a bridge because, like I said, I'm a short dude. I got to work with it. And I say in hindsight, this would actually be the better move, but I just overdid it. I put too much draw, but I think just an easy draw, get the cue ball to that side rail beside the 9, roll that 7 all the way to this low left corner, and I would have been out. Instead, now I'm having to try to kick at that angle, and for lack of a better term, cross my fingers and hope I can get this. I mean, I'm doing the mirror method. I'm trying to get as educated of a guess as possible. Kind of visualize. Keep your finger there a little second. Just, yeah, it's about right there. See what happens. least it was a good hit. Unfortunately, didn't really leave the 7 in the best of spots. And if he wanted, he's got a couple good save options or realistically pretty much an open table. So let's see what he does. I know Shawn, we've played against each other, and he plays on my Monday night league, so we play each other quite often. Good guy, great shot. It's actually funny. I just had APA last night, and he made a comment to me asking, "Hey, what do I got to do to get on the internet?" And kind of laughing about it because he wanted to see if I'd put him on the channel. And I was like, "Well, it's funny you say that, Shawn, because yeah, our TriCup match is next on the queue list." And he kind of chuckled like, "Oh, you're gonna show that?" And I'm like, "Absolutely, man." So here we go, Shawn. See what he can do. Good little slow roll. This is where I would slow roll the 12. Go ahead and pick off that 9. Because the way that 9, you're going to roll it to the top left corner if you do slow roll the 12. And then you can just take the 15. You've got a nice easy shot on the 11. Ooh, hit that a little harder than I would have. But yeah, with a 9, which actually, if he wasn't over the 9 right here, would be a good time to do a little stun shot off that 11, because then you can take the 14 over to the right side. And just one at a time, here we go. Instead, he took the 9 and got a little quick with it, but another benefit of leaving that 14 there. Not trying to go for that quite yet. Again, we're playing. It's probably like 9:06 in the morning. Where I don't know if the coffee is necessarily soaked into our veins and woke up a little bit. In fact, I probably wouldn't even had an energy drink yet. I was still waking up, trying to get after it. I don't have a lot of option. I'd almost be better trying to 3 rail behind it versus go the 1 rail. Regardless, it is what it is. Gay ball in hand, and even worse, broke him wide open. He still got to figure out shape on that 8 ball, don't he? Can't believe some idiot just sat that right there. I wish I could have played the audio, because I bet even with all my team underneath my phone recording this, you probably would have heard the. I walked around the table. I'm like, man, what you guys worried about? It's okay. Calm down. I know what I'm doing. Gonna take a little TV timeout. Got Sam, the 6, coming over to give him a little tip. Basically, I think he's just telling him, don't put it where you're shooting over a ball. Give yourself a little breathing room. Gotta have a little comfort. Question is, wait, how do I want to hit this? Because he kind of was shuffling top, bottom. Yeah, and he got on the backside of it. He wanted to hit a little bit more full so that way he could take the 15, but not like it really matters. He still has the duck ball in the 9. He just needs to make sure he gets a shape right so you don't overroll and you can still take that 15 into the side, which not terrible. Not, you can tell by his body language it's not what he is intending to do, but it should still work out, because you can just do a little stop shot. It might slide a little bit to give you almost even a straighter 15. Again, ain't got to worry about the 8 as long as you don't get behind that 7, but it's a pretty narrow margin. Shawn. Ugh. Just need to do a little stop shot. That's all that needed. But instead, got a little too low for the speed he was wanting to put on, I should say, because I'm okay with, because I usually hit a stop shot with almost extreme low, but I correct my speed so that way the ball is rolling backwards and it releases right when it hits the object ball so it just stuns. But so he's going to try to back cut this thin, or actually he might have been trying the bank. It wasn't too far off. You know, I know this is going to be a long video, but I've got an idea here. Because he could have easily just pushed this to the rail, top English, get the cue ball to sit kind of behind it a little bit. And even if it squirts out, I mean, if I can see the 7, what's it matter? The natural pocket that it would have been shooting into is right at the 8 ball. So would have been a decent little safe option to force me to take a crazy hard shot, because who knows what I would have had to come up with. But, you know, just an option, just an observation for you, Shawn. So it is TriCup. You notice all my APA matches, we just call it. You know, we know each other. It is what it is. But in TriCup, I'm not playing that. We're gonna play by the rules down to the T. Mark your pocket. I'm on the board. Took a couple innings, but it's okay. Let's keep this going. So for anybody in the KC area, I'm sure you already know. But yeah, we're playing at Shooters out of Olathe. Really looking forward to this weekend because we got the Midwest 9-ball tournament. Rumor mill is we're going to have somewhere around like 200 players playing 9-ball. Couple confirmed pros are going to be there. I know Chip Compton, even Sky Woodward, who I'm super excited to watch. I'd like to see a few more, but that's at least the only names confirmed in the one pocket. So 9-ball is just show up and go, but any of the big names are going to try to play both. Shane McMinn out of Oklahoma, few big names. That's going to be a great tournament. Hopefully, I'm allowed to record, because I mean it's unhandicapped. So I mean there's going to be a lot of guys in the 700 Fargo range, and I am looking forward to playing some. Not because I think I've got any shred of chance, but I just want the opportunity, for lack of a better term. I just want the butt whooping. I just want to see how I compete, how I can try to safe, or see if I can get a rack or two just to feel decent about myself or where I'm at. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Anywho, we'll have those matches, I'm sure, in quite a while. I got a pretty large backlog. Shawn, I'm over here yapping my jaw. He left himself a thin cut. I think that was the 14. He just didn't. He hit it hard enough to make it a little more than pocket speed, but he just didn't leave himself that great. So now he's got to look at this carom off the 3 to get it into the side. And don't get me wrong, if it goes, this cue ball's going to naturally come down here. He should have probably the 11. He just did not hit it hard enough. Potentially, that could have been a phenomenal shot. So here we go. I'm going to start with the 2 ball, just simply because now I've got the option to go after the 3. I don't have to worry about shape or anything. It's now at least is open and has a home. I over rolled, or I could even say didn't quite hit hard enough. I wanted to come out to get the 7, but didn't quite get there. So went for the 1. Barely bumped the 6, which not too bad. I'm comfortable with a bridge. I'm a short guy. I don't care. I use this. It's just a tool. Why wouldn't you use it? I know too many guys, especially old timers, they call it a crutch. It's they see it as a handicap. No way. I'm gonna use it. If it's a tool to help me make a ball easier, why wouldn't I want to use it? Plain and simple. So the good news is I'm back on the open. I couldn't hold it for the 6. It was way too thin. I was hoping to maybe roll up for the 5, but didn't get there. So now I'm taking a much harder route because I did leave myself the 3, which is good. I wanted to almost leave a little less angle, or I should say more angle per se, on the 7 ball, so that way I can leave myself this. That was a good shot, Todd. That was a good shot. So it looks pretty close to the 12. So straight top English, it might nudge the 12 and then get off the right, go to, oh, it went clean. But I just way understroked it. I hit that just 10, 15% harder. It rolls over, gives me that 6 ball. And I mean, look at it, the 8 goes in at least 4 of the pockets. So now, because I mean, the way he's got the 15 as a duck, there's not a whole lot of safes. So I mean, just got to kick and hope. If I make that, I'll cut that 8 in the side. We're good. But I just missed. Giving Shawn one more chance. And I think he can see the 12. I would just make sure I would shoot this with top with enough power so I don't just leave a nice easy duck. There we go. That's exactly what I would have done. Good shot. So he's going after. I don't know if I would go this route. So if he can hold this, fine. Okay. He was thick enough he could hold it. So that worked out. If it was going to be too thin that the cue ball would have went back up, then you really got to work the cue to get back to the 11. So I like this. Just nice and easy. Oh, Shawn. Oh, got a little punchy with it. Got a little punchy with it. So basically now all I got to do is make this 6 ball. We're home free. And by that I mean I'm kick that thing right into the head rail. What was that, like a half diamond off? I can just hear the comments just clicking away. This guy's a 7? Miss that easy 6? Like, hey, come on, man. 9:15 in the morning. I'm a nighttime player. Most pool players are, let's be honest. So he left himself a little bit of an angle. So top with some left just to kick it back over to that side. Couldn't have hit that better if he wanted. Maybe a couple extra inches off the rail for breathing room, but he's coming at an angle. He's got plenty of room. He bridges well off of it, so there should be no problem. Just like that. Now notice, Shawn, that when you start to jump up a little bit on your stroke, it's probably after you hit. Gotta keep an eye on that, man. Gotta stay down. It's that unintentional jumping up. I notice you miss some shots when you do that. So here we go. 1-1. Got a long fight ahead of us. See how he breaks. Looks like he's going for a similar break to mine. He does the overhand bridge on the breaks. I don't know why, but for me, that's just never felt comfortable. Just I don't feel like I'm controlled. I just feel like the cue can still move too much. Not saying my pendulum arm is going to be moving, but it just doesn't feel as stable as just a good close bridge. Personal preference. I don't know. Teach their own. So he made a stripe. He's actually got a couple options. I don't know if I would go for the 15 right out of the gate. Excuse me. I would have took that 14 just because of where it is and get that pseudo trouble ball out of the way. So he left me a whole lot of nothing, which means I was trying to get a double kiss, bounce it a little bit more into the 6 ball, make his life a little harder, but didn't quite get there. You notice with my lag, my speed control wasn't there yet. Wasn't quite there yet. So that's a tough shot there. Same thing there. You notice he kind of jumped up out of it. Kind of jumped out of his shorts, swinging at that guy. But the good news is he didn't really leave me. He didn't open up my stuff. I've got those 4 balls just ugly, and I got to pick a long hair off the table. So I do a little drag shot. Actually, wanted it to go a little further. I'd rather be on the other side of the tangent line. So now I got to be Mr. Showboat, rip some draw. Not gonna lie, it kind of worked out. So I hit that with a ton of low, put some right on it. So you're hitting low right, kind of like a 5 o'clock on the cue ball. So that way that right spin, when it reverses, hits that rail, it just launches it up table. And I will say, I do not recommend it unless you have a very good stroke. You have to have a smooth stroke, good follow through. Because if you stab it, if you do anything out of that, it ain't gonna do much. It's gonna probably just stop on you and just be like a top. So you gotta have a nice stroke. So I'm gonna play a little safe. I'm not a huge fan of that type of safe because while it hooks him, it also doesn't benefit me. You know, in a perfect world, you'd want to hit that combo, drop his ball, and then eliminate it. But ooh, move my 4. Dang it. Would have been nice if he moved it. But yeah, if I could have played that combo, drop his 13, try to pull the cue ball a little closer into that 3-7 or something, hypothetically. Probably didn't quite have the angle, but so now I gotta play a safe where I'm trying to come off the side of that. Hit a little thin actually. Yeah, a little bit of head tilt on that one. I want to be a little, just a hair thicker, so it spins into the 7 and then just kind of dies back there. And cross your fingers that the 3 gets involved, hooks it on that little easy combo, but I didn't. So he doesn't really have a good run out because now my 2 ball is in a bad spot for 2 of his balls. So he's got to figure this out. And this is where I'd almost just try to tap the slight bit on the left side of the 14 and try to get the 14 just to barely bounce out and block the cue. Could easily be a scratch shot, so it takes a lot of touch, but not a bad result. I can see the 3-7, but they're not going anywhere. I'm hooked on the 2. So I think I'm kicking at something. Oh no, just trying to play a little containing safe. Didn't really rearrange the furniture. And again, I'm not opening up that 9-15, so he's still got to figure that out. That's really the plan. I'd like for him to take that combo, maybe open up my 4, but he's playing smart. He knows better. I say that, but he realized eventually, man, I don't have a lot. If he wanted, he could. I think he can see enough of the 15. If he could just do a stop shot on that, leave me frozen behind the 9, that could have been nasty little safe. But regardless, now I'm trying a very tough safe right here. That 2 ball is nowhere, needs to be out closer to the 1 diamond, but I'm trying to get kind of thick off the 7. That way it just rubs off the headrail and just try to get it behind the 2. That's a tough shot when it's real slow like that. And I don't have that kind of speed. I don't have that kind of control. It might be a 7, but for anybody that plays pool in other areas, I'm a 550 Fargo. I'm getting better. I'm improving, but That's a lot. That's a lot to ask out of that. He doesn't want that 15 back there necessarily, so he definitely hit it a lot harder than he wanted. But I mean, not a terrible reaction. If there's enough gap to get the 4 behind that 12, I would almost play that combo just to drop the. Well, I think that's a 12. So you're 12 or 13 over there. Trying to make that combo and then leave the 4, leave them hooked. Oh, man, that could have been good. Either need to be a hair harder so the 3 got a rail, or even better, got a little thinner on the 2 and let the cue ball just inch back and get the rail and just freeze them to the back of the 2. That could have been glorious. But a loss it was not. Ooh, I don't like this idea. You know, you got ball in hand, you've got quite a few trouble balls, and you're taking the one out in the open that isn't that hard to make shape for. Not really a fan of that one. I think you bumped the force. Yeah, you can still see the 15. So he might be okay, but doesn't mean that's necessarily the right shot. Ooh, got to stay down, Shawn. He had the right angle so we could make that and then still leave himself the combo. The 9 is now clear. The 2's out of the way, but he doesn't have a full pocket, so he's got to get a real good line on it. Now, I would not be shooting it here. You got way too much angle. You'd almost be better off just to go ahead and take the 14, get the cue ball back up middle table. There we go. Just don't get crazy with it. Just straight top. Let it come right off the rail. Hit it a little hard. But man, did he not do me any favors. Because I can't see the 2-3. I think the 4 is a little far from the 12. Because ideally you'd want to carom off the 4 and kick the 12 in, but I don't think it goes at this angle. I think I'm looking at the bank on the 7. That's real tight. That takes a ton of low. Yep, just kicked right back at the cue ball. That was a rather aggressive shot. I actually gonna back up here because I want to talk about this one. I mean, because you notice I don't even look at trying to carom that 12 ball and get that thing out of my way, or even just try the same kind of shot that I did earlier, come off the left side of the 7 and try to get the cue ball back behind the 2. I didn't even try to look at it. I was just frustrated and let's try to make something and make it happen, but did not happen. Good news is he's got some work ahead of him. That 14's in a bad spot. Even if he gets the right shape on the 9, he has to get on the left side of the tangent line so he can roll that in, get behind the 14 and be able to shoot it all the way up to this low left corner. That's really his only option, but even then, to get on that leave with the 12 where it is, that could be quite a task, not gonna lie. Oh, please tell me, Shawn, you're not going for that combo. That is hideous. He doesn't want to move that 12. He did not want to move that 12, but combo got way behind the 14, went way too thin on it. And again, I'm not even looking at the carom. That's a perfect angle. All I got to do is just graze off the side of that 4, drop the 12. His 9 is in a bad spot because he can't bank it with the 8 in the way. The 14's covered up. Todd, you left yourself where you were left the perfect shot for a great save. But instead, I tried to kind of graze off the 3, get it behind the 9. Behind the 2. I missed the leave, and all I did is leave him open. I guess if there was a hindsight, I forced his hand to get my my problem out of the way. And his 9 is still not in a great spot. So let's, like, yeah, he can make the 14, but if it doesn't honestly have a home, what is the point? So I think he's just going to try to roll this up, play it safe, but it's kind of like I did earlier. It's not really helping himself in the long run, that is. So if I think I'm real straight on this. Yeah, cue ball didn't even move off the rail. But if you look at it, I mean, that's a completely makeable shot on the 3. The way that's going to go, it's going to kick it right into that 9 ball, kick it out of the way for the 2. But instead, I decided to play it safe. I don't hate it. Even in hindsight, I don't hate it. But it didn't advance my game because the 2 ball is still in a tricky spot that I gotta get perfect shape on. Especially when he does something like that and gets a good hit. Thankfully, he left me a duck, so now I just got to make a little combo. But this is a tricky one. Let's talk about this guy, because if you shoot the 3 to the right side of the pocket, both balls drop. You don't want to do that when the 7 is where it's at, because that's leaving me a very hard shot to cut that 7 into this low right corner. Therefore, you have to slow roll the combo, but you got to hit it hard enough that the cue ball comes off the rail, gets at least back out a dime and a half off the rail, and hard enough that the 3 ball hits that left rail and still comes out, so it's makeable. So this is a tricky shot. You got to hit it right. Got to hit this right. And unfortunately, I think I'm trying to make it with holding the 2 ball up and use the 2 as the get out jail. Oh, okay. Let's take everything I just said and say great in theory, but apparently the 2 was out enough. I thought it was closer to, or actually outside the point, but I'll take this. So we got a little TV timeout. Somebody's shooting right next to me or talking about something. Yeah, I think we got a timeout here. I should have sped this up. This is what I like to call an editing fail, ladies and gentlemen. But I've got an angle on this. I just have to hit it thin enough with probably a little right spin to keep it straight up the rail so I can have a easier shot on the 7 here, or I want to rip some low on this so it comes, end up hitting the head rail, but come off this right rail, come out center table, and then take that 7 into the left side, which I think is the smarter play, but I'm a little stretched. And I did not even consider anything. I just was like, just leave it up table. It's fine. And then that's what I like to call selling out, because that was stupid. Because now I got to figure out a 2 rail. Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking at every angle here. This is no spin, straight top, cross your fingers and toes. Try to 2 rail this in the side and miss it by a country mile. Yeah, I'm a little frustrated in that one. That was, yeah. With somebody taking the timeout, I should have. This is something I just thought of. If somebody's taking the timeout beside me, I should have almost treated it like a timeout on my own and then sit back instead of just like waiting for someone to get done. Take the time, think about your options, and coach yourself. All right, here's what you want to do. Here's your options. And then when you can walk around the table and look at things, you've got a couple things in your head. That is that's a realization I've never thought of. I've never said before, but that just came to me, and I'm not gonna lie, I like that. I am not going to let somebody coaching or taking their time on a shot be a problem. Use it wisely. And what you don't want to do is just swing at the ball because you waited so long and then sell out the game. Todd, what are you doing? Giving him this chance. But this is an easy 8. He shouldn't have a problem. You know, commentator curse really only works when it's live. I know I've said this in other videos, but I truly edit these videos quite a while ahead or quite a time ago because I've got so many videos on the backlog that yeah, I can't believe I got away with this rack. But, you know, it's kind of fun when I do these commentaries because I did edit this video quite a while ago. So I truly don't remember everything as I'm watching. So the majority of my commentary here is not scripted, it's not considered, it's not thought through in any way. It's, for lack of a term, it's improv. And I kind of like doing it that way because it's like watching a match live. It's like if somebody called me to coach, what would you do? And it gets my brain going that way. And somehow I tried to do a stop shot. I think it was just so dead straight. I didn't want to cheat the pocket like an idiot. I tried to stop shot and short stroked it that the ball jumped. Ended up hitting the 8, which it doesn't matter. The cue ball goes off the table. It's a foul regardless. But my God, I mean, have you guys ever seen a blunder like that on, I mean, just in pool? I know we've all seen some crazy shots, some crazy snafus that shouldn't have happened or whatever, but in a TriCup, when you when you're supposed to have your head down and really focusing on this, the only thing I can give myself credit for is doing that usually will frustrate me and piss me off enough that I'm like ultra focused because I'm not going to do that again. So that's usually when you start seeing me play much better pool. But yeah, let's see what happens here. I've got a pretty wide open table. I get myself an easy 9. It's just a slight angle, so it just spins just a hair. I'm just trying to get off the side rail. I ended up doing a little more than I wanted on that one. That's part of just being frustrated right there. So I'm going to go and drill that bank. Thank you, backboard, aka 3 ball. A little more, a little more, a little more. What do you think, guys? Little different of a shooter. Yeah, I'm shooting fast, but a little wild. But I mean, I'm a little more focused on this one. The problem is the way I hit that 3 ball. Now it's in the way of my 8, so I gotta make this bank. I banked it with the intent that it would go right at that 3 ball and just die to give me the 8. I needed a little more breathing room for comfort because it is a cut and it's real long. So I'm just trying to stun it. And through utter frustration, I didn't have any right being mad at that. That was 100% my own fault. I should have just looked at it again, take a deep breath, and put a firm stroke. Don't smash it for God knows whatever reason other than just I'm mad. Let's be honest. I had no right to lose that last rack. I mean, I did have a right. He gave it to me, and then I just put it on a platter and gave it right back. And now he just needs to kind of cherry pick this around and figure out how to open up that 3 ball. Is his only real issue. If he was crazy and gutsy, he could thin cut that 6, which would go right at the 8 and hope it kind of combos. But I don't hate this either. So stop shot on the 6, slow roll or I should say medium speed, drop the 1 into the top right, so when the cue ball comes off the rails, should be almost parallel with the 2. And then he could have used that as a breakout, but instead he used the angle and drilled some lows straight into it. The only problem is he didn't leave himself great. He did not leave himself great because, yes, he can see the 4, but it looks like the angle is just going to leave him straight, like even having to force a combo or something. But if he's got a little angle, he can stun it over a little bit more up table and then leave himself the 3, and then he's out. But if he is square, he's got to hit this with draw to pull back and be able to see the 2. So we're taking another TV timeout. We got Sam at the table. Just giving him another observation. And another spectator slow walking by, trying to figure out what they're talking about. But actually, I take it back. I think he was a teammate of theirs. And you saw him kind of point his cue at him, like, because you can't have more than one coach. So he might have just been telling him that. So yeah, that was real square. You need to put a little more power on us. That way the cue ball gets out another foot, and then he's got the 2. If he wants to combo the 2-3, he's got some options. But instead, now he's got himself a real tough one. He's got looks like he's trying to combo that 1 into the 3, which this is tricky. I'm not a fan of this one. Oh, triple combo. Oof. Well, he gave me really one option, and it is a get it and win it or miss it and lose, which that is the right shot you want to put on your opponent. Because you don't want to put yourself in that shot. If you can put your opponent in the pressure situation of forcing to win, that's a better place to be. It's definitely a better place to be. I'm not quite sure if that was a safe. If it was, because it looked like the 2 is a bit of a back cut to combo that 3. So if that's the case, put some low and just stun off the rail, bring it up. The 2 ball will get wild, might come up table, but you still got the 1 as an insurance ball. So I'm not saying you got to smash it with the power of Thor, but I don't know if I would have done that. So he left me, I should say, excuse me, in a situation where I've got to masse or kick at this, and I think the kick is right near the side pocket, and I don't like masses, but that was pretty close. That was pretty close, and like I was saying earlier, now he's got the opportunity, left me in the make it and win situation. Now it's super easy. I would start with the 2 ball, but I think the 1 goes too, so just straight top English. Beautiful. So this is where I hit it with straight low you're essentially hitting at a 45, and that cue ball, when that low grips, it just slides straight up table. But great speed. He actually got a little bit more breathing room off the rail than I would have. Left himself a great shot. I'm not mad at that. Good shooting. Just like that. Guys, I'm down 3-1 on a straight race to 5. I'm not out. I'm not definitely not out. I can run. I just I need an open table. I need an opportunity to get there. But this rack's pretty darn important. This rack's important because I got to keep him from the hill, and I need the win to try to narrow that gap. Because 2-3 sounds a lot better than 1-4. Sounds a lot better. The only problem is not a great break, and truthfully, did not leave a whole heck of a lot. Stripes do look a hair better just simply because the 14's blocking the 3-7, but you still got to figure out that I think it's a 13 behind the 8. So I can just slow roll this. Ooh, that was definitely too hard. I want to slow roll that and leave myself to 12, but I've got an insurance ball with a 10. Not saying I needed to, that was the pattern I was looking for. Actually, I take it back. I was trying to skim the 14. I might have even been trying to, I don't know if I was trying to masse or what, but I just ever so slightly grazed that 8 ball. And the worst thing you can do is give ball in hand. So he needs to, I'm assuming he's going to try to rip some good draw, kick that 8, and put it in a more makeable spot. But we're just going to have to see the result because I can't see it. Oh, Shawn. I think he would have been fine had he stayed down and got through the ball. He did get draw, yes, because it clearly came up table, but he hit it so hard that, like in a punch shot, it just bounced out and didn't actually hit and then spin backwards. So, AKA, he did not do himself any favors here. So, but when you're at the table, you're doing better than your opponent. He's got a little bit of work on the 4-3. Oh, now get off that 12. That might be a gift. First and foremost, I need to be looking at that 13. Okay. Because if that 13 goes straight top English, no, I don't think it does. That's why I'm going for the 14. Yeah. Had to go for the 14 first. I didn't want to disrupt the 13. So that way I think it still goes thinly. So now we're going to hike up on the 10. Just put some straight draw, pull back middle of the table, and miss the ball. Sit, 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 sit. You didn't see that, kids. You didn't see that gesture of affection for the 10 ball. As if the 10 ball was the problem there. It wasn't my stroke. It wasn't my hit. It was that dang old 10 ball. Can't be regulation. Must be oval. It's probably close to like 9:45, 9:50 in the morning. I should be a little bit more awake, should be focused. So I can't just keep using that. Oh, no. Ugh. I did not want to move that 13. Or if I did, move it out. But he also was trying to move it out of the way. So I don't want to keep using the excuse of being tired, but because I should be awake. I should be more focused right now. Ooh, he let himself square on this. And again, still has not figured out that 3-4 combo, or excuse me, 3-4 cluster to try to figure out what he's going to do there. So he's leaving his problems for the end, which is not a good solution. Ooh, that might have worked out. He hit that similar to my other shot that I did. He hit that with some low left. Took a ton of spin to get clear up head table, and then the perfect amount of speed to kick it and hit that 4. That was a phenomenal shot. And it looks like there's enough gap to get that 4 by the 3 so it goes in the side. Man, I'll tell you what, that could be the shot. That could be the winning shot right there, and I'm not mad at it. I would be in the time because I don't want him to make those kind of shots. But hindsight, that was a great shot. I'm okay with that. I'm here for good pool. Looks like he's putting a little, well, he has to put top because he's on the rail. The only problem is he didn't do himself any favors. 13's blocking it in the side. That's crazy thin to try to cut it up to the corner. The bank, I don't know, he might be able to bank it, put some top, but I think that's going right off the 13 scratching. And, I mean, I've got 3 balls kind of spread out enough that this is a real tricky safe. Because I don't know if he can lead me somewhere that doesn't benefit me. But let's see what he's got. Yeah, he went for the bank. Just now, I said there wasn't a safe, but I mean, sure didn't lead me a whole lot, did he? The 12 does go through the gap, but you know what? Instead, I underhit that. I wanted the cue ball to roll a little closer to the rail. I wasn't even necessarily worried about the 13 blocking the 3. I just wanted to leave it where the cue ball was hooked behind the 11. And I did not. So he's got a paper cut. It very clearly goes. Looks like natural English to come right up to the side rail. That was a terrible save. That was good. That was a great shot on the 3. Very good speed by Shawn. Not even mad at that. Again, very critical match right there. Or game of the match. That was very critical. I needed that rack. One, try to chip away at his confidence. He's feeling good. He's up by a lot. I needed to cut him out the knees right there, and I did not. I am 100% not playing my best right here. He definitely has a smash and hope for the best kind of break. You know, you saw his pre-strokes are crazy fast. He was just trying to, he comes up into it, like just putting his entire hips, his whole body into the break, which normally I'd say is not needed, but, when you're playing on a bar table that you know for a fact does not rack well, sometimes you just got to smash it. So can't fault the guy. But looking at the pattern here, looking at where everything's at, I mean, I think I like stripes just a hair better. The 1 and the 9 are both tricky being right there. I've got an easy shot right now to go ahead and get the 14, open that up, and, I can chip away. But that 9's going to be a little funny. 15, I just got to get up table or kind of by the 1. So once I move the 13, the 15 goes in this pocket, which I'm getting rid of the 13 now. So I'm just going to straight draw this right back off the rail. Little hard. Little hard. I didn't want to quite get there. Try to get about a foot less so I could have an easier shot on the 12 and hold for the 11. But instead, now I got to kick right towards the 11. That worked out. I got the right side when you're facing it, that is. I hit the right side of it to kick it to the left and leave me a shot. But here's the tricky part. I'm not solving my problems. Ooh, I take that back. Or am I? Or am I? I might have got a little lucky here. I think I can just roll this in, bump off of it. Oof. Now this is not an easy shot. I'm kind of over the 2, and all I got to do is just stop it. I don't want to roll it forward too much. Get the dust off the table. So nice and easy. Don't kill it. Just stop it and get in the hole. Let's go. There we go. I'm not out yet. I know you guys are over here already counting the Calcutta on me. But I am still got that dog in me. I'm still fighting. Still fighting. I'm losing. I'm losing bad. I'm shooting bad. I don't know what I did with the transition there, but not going to worry about that. Just a video editing issue. So let's get the break, get a nice clump going. And I'm not going to lie, this is not the kind of table I am good at. I do not like when it's all clumpy like this. It usually does not work in my advantage. But let's see what he's got. Should be pretty easy just to roll forward. God, Shawn, you got to stay down, brother. And I know he's going to watch because I told you, he asked about how he's going to get on the internet. So I hope he watches. I'll tag him on Facebook because I want him to see this. That's not a bad shot right there. He's got a good shot on the 6. Ideally, if it's got a little bit of room. Okay. If it was too straight, you don't want to take it. Go ahead and take that 3 because that definitely is an angle into the side. But you need to figure out how to break up that clump because it's ugly. And he doesn't have a whole heck of a lot here. Got a little TV timeout apparently, but we're back. Didn't even have time to get a full drink of water, boys. Yeah. See, I would have hit that top. I would have smashed it pretty hard, kick right into that 7-8, and just try to explode that rack open. And now you got stuff to work with, move around, play with. But with that 4 ball, you don't have to worry about the 8 getting too wild and doing something crazy and like scratch, or early 8 in the side. I think he would have been fine, but you need it opened up because even right now, yes, he can see the 7, he can see the 3, which should go in the side, but neither one of them are advancing his actual plan. Got a little thin with it, but you see in the angle, he still doesn't have the right angle to make that 3 and open up the clump. But on the other hand, he didn't open me up. So I'm looking at cutting the 10 in the side. That way it opens everything, opens that. The 9 goes into get in there. the 9 goes in the top left pocket. And if I can get the right shot, I can bump that 8 open. I'm shooting way too fast. I'm shooting way too anxious. I need out of this rack. I need to make this rack 3. So straight top, roll forward, a little more, a little more, a little more. I need about a foot more. And this is where I make the mistake. Because this, I already know me. I say, I better not be swinging at that 9 ball because I think that would be the wrong decision because that is a decent breakout ball for the 8. And all I'm doing is getting rid of my chance there. I should say, I need to make that and still leave an angle on the 13 so I can get the 8 open. And I didn't. So I'm not doing myself any favors. I am just trying to formulate a plan as it's already passed, and I'm not playing this strong or smart at all. I do not approve. But that's why I'm making these videos. That's why I'm making these videos, because I'm trying to see what I did wrong. See it? I had a hair of an angle. I was trying to rip into it to open it up and just missed. But that's why I'm making these videos. I truly am trying to get better at this game, and people can tell me what I'm doing right. They can tell me what I'm doing wrong. But at the end of the day, you need to see it. You need to be able to see it and say, I know what I'm doing wrong, and I know how to fix it, because if I stop doing that, you can get better and keep moving. But I'm clearly not learned at this point in this match. I mean, it's clearly 10 a.m. I should be wide awake. I should be fine. And I'm playing sloppy and terrible. Looks like I'm trying to thin cut this into the side. At least it's not a bad leave. It's kind of a two-way. So that way I was trying to leave it where he doesn't just have an easy 7 ball and then be able to pick stuff apart. And if it does happen to go, straight top English on that 12, making the top left, get the cue ball. As long as it gets in that gap between the 4-1, then I can at least bank the 8. Low percentage shot, fully aware and agree. But what do you got? So you work with what the table gives you. I think he's trying another 3-ball combo here. Ooh. First things first, great combo. Great 3-ball combo. That was crazy. And I think the way it rolled, I think he's even got enough gap behind the 1 to get that 4. And if he does, yep, he does, because he's looking at that 4-ball. Guys, that's a bit of okay. That's some good pool right there. Shawn! Oh, buddy. I was just saying. Oh. Oh, he just stabbed it way too much. So I just need to make this. Don't get too straight. If I can roll this up, it's not an easy shot, especially for being dead straight. I got to get it close to that first diamond for a good look on that 8-ball on the side. But if I remember correct, yep, I did remember correct. The cue ball was frozen, and I don't know if the 12 was or not. It was close enough that I tried just to get it down the rail, and unfortunately, I got pointed. I hit the 12 to make it legal, but what's it matter when he's got a duck to get out? He's got an easy pattern here, just straight in the side, top English, let her roll. Just get it past the 8. That's really all you got to do. Beautiful. Top English, gently get 2 rails just to get it off the rail. You got it, the 8-ball on the side, or if you get it a little firmer, got it down the corner, you got options. If you happen to miss, you're leaving me with a whole lot of nothing on the 12. So he's in the win-win situation right here. And instead, we put quite a bit more on that. But you know what? Great shot. Great shot. That is a great leave on the 8 for the win. For the first match in TriCup to go up 2-0. What kind of a little slide shot? But you know what? It went. So, not a bad start. Took out the other team's 7. That's a moral victory as well, because the other team starts to feel that there's 7 who should win. That's a good win right there. Starting a TriCup match, but I will say we did actually come back, get get in sudden death with the final match, and my 5 had to play their 4, and it didn't go well for them. So, even though I did not succeed, my team got through this round, did well. We actually, if I remember correct, I think we had a bye, so if we lost this, we were done. Uh, I don't know, maybe not. I could be wrong, but regardless, we did win this match. We continue on, we go again, and let's see what happens. So, guys, thank you for watching. I appreciate all of you. I know I should have said this earlier in the match because not everybody gets this point, but I have noticed, I've been watching, I see all the extra subscribers. Thank you to all of you. And my last video, most of my videos have been getting like 100, 200 views. I've had two, I think, in the 300s. This last one, as of filming right now, is 1,100 views. Thank you. That is fantastic. I love it. Thank you so much. I truly want to grow this channel. I want more viewers. I want more feedback, because the more people that view it, and my favorite comments are when people are questioning, hey, on this rack, why didn't you bank this or cut that, or, because then it gives me the opportunity to think like, well, I don't know. So I go rewatch it, and I will give you my feedback. If I see it as a viable shot, I'm going to tell you. If I see it as either a scratch or whatever, I'll make those comments as well. So I want us all to learn. And by no means am I the expert, but I've got a decent knowledge, and I want to share it with you guys. So I hope you guys stick around, keep following along, share it, get more people watching. And lastly, come over to Facebook, Poolside Chat with Todd. I've got a whole page. I want to get some conversations going. I've got some ideas of what to do there that's going to get more people thinking about how to play and what to do in the game of pool to get everybody better. USA needs to get better at this game. Europe is kicking our butts. Let's do this. So anyway, again, thank you, all of you. I love you guys, and I'm going to be right back for my next match in this TriCup, and I'll see you then. Thanks again. Bye.